Okay, so can you just kind of start out? How did you get into the music business? Did you start singing when you were younger?
I did. I did. I started singing literally at 3, in the church. Like you hear that story.
Yeah.
Um, come from a big family. Well, I have 2 older brothers, but an overall huge family and very church involved family. So my parents, well, my mom and my grandmother, they were all in the choir. And I was in the little sunshine choir, which was the little kids at 3.
Kids choir.
So that's where I started. Like my mentor at the time, she just saw something in me, and she was like, okay, it's time for you to lead a song. And I was like, okay. And, that was like my first standing ovation. I'm 3. I'm like, oh, okay. I really actually still remember it. It was like this song called Spirit of the Living God. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm,
And from that moment on, it all started from there, learning piano. And by 13, I was the minister of music at my church. So by 13, I was teaching my mom's choir, and I was in charge of the music for the entire church. So that was like essentially my first job that I
wow.
paid for, and then that evolved. You become a teenager, and then you get into what's going on musically. And I was, I became that's when I got into Prince. And you know
Yeah.
we're from the same generation. We were exposed to everything.
Yeah.
Like back then we had Elton John on the radio. You know what I mean? It wasn't just these same songs. We had such a
Yes.
myriad, a plethora.
More diversity in the music.
Yeah. By the time I was like, say, a sophomore in high school, my musical taste was just like really broad. It was so beyond gospel by then. It wasn't just R&B. And of course, come junior year, it was all about the house party. So
That's
know
right.
what that was about. So it was like that rock, just jazz. My dad was a jazz musician. So I mean, like I had my musical taste is just like a big gumbo bowl, gumbo. But yeah, so that's where it all started in church, and it just grew from there.
Yeah. When did you know, like, this is something I want to do professionally? Like, there's that moment where you're like, I love doing this, but is it just something I want to do on the side? Or is this something I want to go for and do?
You know what? Honestly, I really knew, I would say about 12 or 13. Like once I became a minister of music. But after that, I just knew that, okay, this isn't all that I want to do. And like the summer, I would say when I was about 15, that was another thing. I don't know if they still have summer jobs for kids, but my summer job was like at this Catholic church called what was it, Resurrection? I think it was Resurrection. Anyway, we put on plays. Like the whole summer consisted of learning a musical and putting on a play. So like
Mm,
we did The Wiz. One year we did we did a couple of every year the whole job was learning the play, and at the end of the summer we did a performance where we invited our friends and family. We sold tickets and whatnot. So
mm.
I played Eveline. That was like my first, and it was, oh my God, that was so much fun, right? So
Absolutely.
that was so much fun. So when it came time for me to do the whole, when she dies and melts, and I had
Yeah.
that number that went over so well. That was like my second standing O. But after that, I was like, okay, this is it. This is it for me. But that's when I knew. When I did Eveline, I was like, okay, I love this. I love
Yeah.
everything.
Does it feel like to kind of make the music that you grew up grooving to, too?
The norm, because like I did that with Hurley, like my first, a lot of people I know the I Will Survive joint, but like the first mile hit was Bet You Never Find, which
Hmm.
was, it was kind of pop house, but it was really
Yeah.
pop like, as a matter of fact, the version that kind of blew was like that Total Silky Soul house mix. So, like, my break came from me writing first. You know what I mean? I was a professional singer, but I started like writing for ID Records. Like, We Got a Love Thing for CeCe Peniston. That was like the first thing I wrote that hit.
Well, you were doing a lot of songwriting prior to actually coming out as an artist, as a recording artist for after that.
Exactly. That's pretty much what got me my break, because I was writing so much that, you know, the labels were like, a lot of my songs were getting placed at the time because we had a lot of writers out there and a lot of talented musicians. You know, like, of course, Steve Hurley, Eastman, Joshua, Jamie, we were all out there. And so I was writing with all of them, and my joints were getting placed. So at a certain point, RCA was like, who is this girl? And of course I would demo all the songs and vocal producer songs. I was like, who is this girl writing these songs and doing these demos? What's up with her?
Wow.
And that's how I got my deal through RCA.
Talk to me about your process. Like when you're there, like I tell people, I have moments where I'm like this all the time. And then other times where it takes a little time for something to develop in my head. Do you kind of have a similar process?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of times, because like, and I don't know how that works for you, which your writing is dope, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But with me, since I'm working with producers, a lot of times I'll get the music first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just let that lead me. You know, when it's really good, I get something right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never force anything, because that never works. You know, but a lot of times I'll just let a melody I'll just let a track lead me to whatever in my head. However, being that I'm a musician as well, a lot of times it'll just come out just scratch, you know, it'll just be a concept, and I'll just get on my keyboard or even my little keyboard on my phone, and I'll just put something down and then just take it from there. Like with the current single with Tear It Down, that was one of those, I was in the closet, I had to go in the closet because I was like taken by what was going on, and that melody just came to me. You know what I mean? That the melody of the book came to me, and I just, that came out of nowhere.
And I obviously know where the motivation came from, but what I wanted to know is, did you have reservations about putting out a song? It's very strong in its message, you know what I mean? It's called Tear It Down. So did you feel like, man, if I put this out, am I going to get some backlash from the respectability, you know, kind of crew? Where did that motivation come from, and what did you feel about putting it out right now?
I didn't. You know what? Because normally I would. Believe it or not, and I haven't really shared this with anybody, when I first, the lyrics that I first that spewed out my mouth were harsher than that. You know? So I'm conscious of it being palatable to some degree, but at the same time, and that's just the writer in me. That's the writer in me where, you know, as a professional, you know where to edit.
Yeah.
I refuse to edit the meaning and what I had to say, because I wasn't afraid, because I really feel like that is where we are right now. That is how we feel right now. And I just, you know, I've had conversations with family, and we are just tired. You know what I mean? And it's like, at a certain point, when you're trying to relay a message, you can't sugarcoat this. We just can't sugarcoat this anymore. We really have to say what we feel, because you see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What you can't deny is the truth in it.
Mm-hmm. The truth. And I think if you had chosen to make it more, I don't know, palatable to the masses, you could have done that. You know what I mean? But you chose to
Mm-hmm.
the passion that was there. You know what I mean? When we watch the news and look at social media, my initial reaction is not toned down. It's not watered down. You know what I mean? So what I heard in the song was just like, I felt that because I'm literally scrolling and watching and now covering a lot of this stuff. And it's such a conflicting emotion. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm upset, I'm ticked. Like, I understand that rage and I understand, you know, wanting peace as well. Like, I understand it all. And it's just like to be in that space as somebody Black in America right now, where I really feel like we're getting hit on every single side. It's
And I'm a Black woman.
yes.
So, right. You know?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like this is where you hear the heart of an artist. You know what I mean? And I think this is where our voices are so important because, and I said this when Trump was elected, I said the art that's about to come out of this time is going to be incredible because that's what always happens. You know, whatever the community and the artists are the ones that give that voice to, whether it's in music, dance, song, writing, poetry, it all comes out. So I said, when we look back on this moment, the art that has come, but I think it takes artists like you who become fearless. And I think that's the difference. You know, when you have a moment where you said, normally I probably would have thought about it first, but it's like, you know what, now's not the time. It's the time to come out, be strong. It's time to be fearless in your art. That connects.
I thank you. Yeah, I just felt like it's like, you know, I'm at a certain age where it's like, we can't all be out on the picking lines. We all can't be out there taking the mace and taking the bullet, you know, we all can, but we all could contribute in some way. And I think if you're given a gift of art, use that. You know, that's why, you know, I quoted like Nina Simone. Well, then artists we should be talking about the times then. I mean, that, you know, so I'm like, and how could we not? How could you, if you're a Black woman, how could you not?
And I'll say we had like this moment of pause creatively where we were just like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah.
And look, you know, because you lose gigs and money's flying out the window and you don't know what's going on. And then it's like the floodgates open at some point. Did you have a moment of pause in when all of this stuff was hit? Like,
girl, first of all, like we were all shook. The corona, you were just shook. You don't know whether to be scared, mad. I mean, we talk about a plethora of emotions, right? And then you're faced with the fact with, oh, damn, my whole year that was planned out is just snuffed out. Yeah. Like, you know, the current single, I had no plans to go. I had an entire EP that we were about to drop. Totally different lane. Totally, we had a tour all planned out. And so, and of course, I mean, I no way, and I'm not the only artist. You know, so much money that was supposed to be made. Yes. You couple all that with, then comes George Floyd. We're already on edge anyway.
Right.
And this is stuff that we deal with every day that the media talks about. So it had all come to a head, you know. So I mean, we were all there. It's like, you know, it's like 2020 is just like, oh my God.
I said everyone was like the year 2020 vision. I said, but we had no idea what was going to be revealed. So much I never expected.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And it just keeps coming.
Yes, it doesn't stop. And to have to me, when I heard your song, like I could see protest. I could see, you know, how they do these kind of recaps, you
Yeah.
know, where they showing his, like I see that song
Mhm.
being played because it's one thing to make a song that's just very like, oh, I'm just angry and rageful, but yours was beautifully blended with the rage and anger, but there's this empathy and this sadness and this we got to do something
Thank
kind of that builded within, and that's what I love about it. It's not all, you know, it's
right,
not all, and it's
right.
not flowers and roses either. It's literally what that inner conflict that we're feeling. You know, we're feeling all of it, and it's not. What I love about it's a multi-layered song, so it's not something very simple. It's very, we're tired, we're fed up. I want to do something. What can we do? The community. It's all of those things
Oh my
wrapped
God.
in the.
Thank you. You get it. You know what that's like as an artist for somebody to like totally get what you right.
Yeah,
Exactly. I appreciate that.
and
Right.
I really think this kind of beautifully blends that rage with responsibility. And did you find doing the song was somewhat cathartic for you, you
I,
know, as you're walking? Yeah.
oh my God. Absolutely. Absolutely. It really was because I just had to get that out. And
Right.
until I did, I just couldn't rest. I mean, it just needed to be because I like, not to sound cliche, but the song is for us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, I know we all feel like this. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
I say it like somebody, I don't know, maybe coming from a woman's perspective, but but we all feel like this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was very cathartic. It really was.
Yeah.
Like we're at a tipping point. Like we're at a phase that we haven't been in a long time, where everything is coming to a head. But I feel like if we stick with it, we can actually accomplish something. Because you
Yeah.
get fired up, we get mad, and then next thing you know, it's back to status quo. But I
Yeah.
just like right now that there's a chance that we can, we just have to be steadfast about it. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
we can cause some kind of change with perseverance this time, I think.
I agree. Did you find that it gave you kind of a little bit, being shut down gives you a little bit more clarity, if that
You
makes
know what?
sense?
To be honest, eventually, yes. But
Yeah.
at first, I was completely blocked. It was such a shock. Like I was like, I can't say numb, but
Mm.
I was shell shocked. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't write anything. I didn't hear a melody. I didn't hear a song. I didn't hear a lyric. I was just like, just nothing, blank.
Yeah.
That went on. That may have gone on for a whole month for me.
What do
I,
you, when people hear this song, because it's being streamed right now on all platforms,
yeah.
what do you hope people take from this song when they hear it?
Um. Wow. I just hope that the people, I pretty much know that my people are gonna get it. You know what I mean? I pretty much know that they're gonna understand because they feel the same way. I just hope that they feel like, okay, I have something to listen to help me process. Sometimes you just want to
Mm.
bang out, you know what I mean? To help me process. And then
Yeah.
the people who aren't Black people, I want them to listen and understand. It's
Right.
because y'all not used to me talking like this. A lot of them not used
Right.
to hearing that coming from me. And it's like,
Right.
I'm a Black woman living in America, and this is what we're going through. Y'all know I'm a writer. Y'all know I write most of the stuff that I put out. So listen to me with what I'm saying now. This is what I'm feeling. So learn from it.
Right.
I'm just hoping people
Yeah.
people who don't have our plight, I want them to learn from it. And for us, I just want them to feel like they've got something to that's for us, that you can live. You know, there's nothing like talking to somebody who understands where you're coming from.
Right.
I want them to feel that when they listen to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just taking it. I'm just riding a wave wherever it takes me. I'm wave.
We'll continue creating. Well, thank you so much for speaking with me.
You
I
are
wish nothing but success, more success. And tell everybody where they can hear the song "Tear It Down." Let everybody know where they can hear this.
You can hear Tear It Down is streaming everywhere that music is streaming. Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Tidal, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Go get it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Chantay. I appreciate you speaking with me.
Join our chat.
It was good talking to you. We will talk soon.
Definitely.
Justice.